Hey, this is Kurt the boat doctor. By God, I was going to introduce you to the crew down here, but they seen me coming, they all hid. I can show you all these boats though. You got Ryan, he's hiding over there, he's the new owner. You got Mike, he's in that one office there, the sales manager. Then we got Paul, we got Brian, you can see it on the windows in there, Bo. They're our sales team. Then we got our service, and then we got Jared, and then we got Jeremiah, and I could go on and on, but if they're gonna hide from me, I ain't gonna name them. But anyway, there's a boat for everybody, just so you know that. You don't have to have $1 million. It'd be nice, and you could buy whatever you wanted. But again, there's a lot of good used boats out there as well, and I'm the type of guy, I don't sell, so I'm not going to try to sell you something. I can just tell you the differences between the holes, what I recommend in a boat. And all these boats out here I've ran out or gonna run out, plus everything out of the service and rigging and demos. So I've run a few boats, I think up to almost 24,000 since I've started, and that's only been 2 weeks. That's a joke, it's been longer than that. Anyway, just like this, we got Smoker Craft. They're one of the best in the lightweights. They used to be riveted, now they're all welded. You got a 162 Osprey. Now again, if you're going to be fishing up the river there for salmon, you don't need a big 22, 24. You can get by with the 15, 16 foot. Hell, you can get by with that little tiller over there. So it's all in the pocket, but there's in every size, and there's a brand. Like say, if you take an 18 footer, you got a bunch of like, high quality would be your Duckworth, your North River, probably them are your two tops. And Hughes Crafts is a good, they're actually, Hughes Craft nowadays, they're actually stepping the game up. They're all welded, but their welds are perfect. They're thinking of the fishermen. Every time one comes in, they come out with something new. So I mean, they're coming a long ways. Actually, that's probably getting to be one of the bigger sellers nowadays. Then you got top of the line would be which I'll show you, this for offshore and safety would be the Stavy Craft in the Edge Marine. And then you got Speedy. There's one of them right there. He just speeds through the lot. See, that's service. He must have had lunch again, I don't know. But you got Edge, top notch. You know, they're like a 20 by 50 by 52 degree, like 8 foot bottom. Them suckers will go through it. Same thing with the Stavy Crafts. If you want a good ocean boat and be safe, if you want a safe boat, stable boat, Stavy. North River's awesome. The bigger ones, the 31 footers. We don't have any right now. Duckworth makes a good offshore boat. They also make that, like those little navigators, the 18 foots over there. And now this one's an interesting boat, actually. I took this one out. This is the 22 nav with a gold wing door on it. Now this boat reminds me of the cross between a North River and an Edge and a Duckworth. See how deep that sucker is? A good V to it, anchor guard, gold wing, hard top, Garmin electronics. Go Garmin, buddy. Garmin's a ticket. This boat here, I'm shocked it hasn't sold, but you know, the way the economy is and stuff. Actually, I was pretty impressed with this. I mean, look how deep that is. You got room in here. And like I say, flush mount, you got suspension seats, got the hard top, grab rails, Zolatone 250. Performed really nice, real quiet, took the rough water very nice, actually. I wonder if he forgot something up there. I'll have to come back to this boat. And these are the fastbacks. These are another good boat. The North River, they have one, probably the best resale value down the road. They're just a well quality. They're made out of Roseburg. Now these two are variable degree holes. That means they change as they transition up. That it's really important, especially if you're spending this kind of money, to get the variable degree. They're more stable, takes less horsepower and gets better fuel economy, and you don't get the roll. And that means, like say this 22 is probably an 18 by 41, 42 degree hole, so it's 18 by 42. Then you don't count your bow rise. That some people will trick you. Oh, 31 degree bow. Yeah, that's the top of your bow. You don't care about that. You want it underneath the driver's seat. Rear entry door. I mean, both of these are nice boats. Man, I don't know, this one's pretty hot. Again, this is a 22 footer. There's Big Jim. Duckworth, yeah, Navigator. That's kind of their new one. And these got a reverse chine, if you see them right there. and they run their offshore extension of the hull. That's another thing you want to look at when you buy, like say, an offshore bracketed boat. Make sure that that's an extension of the hull, because in 22 you can add 2 feet, 24 feet. Not that that makes much difference, because the next shutoff's 26 and you already met the 21. But this has got that variable degree with that heavier reverse. What that does is keep your boat stable. Again, planes quicker, better fuel economy, and tight turns without blowing out. And you also want these flanges to come outside that box, because what that does is forces the water out this way. If you don't have that, the water will come and go towards that motor, and then you can get water spray. So that's another thing to look at when you're buying a boat. You gotta see how I got tons of time. And again, trim tabs. You notice this doesn't have trim tabs. I would probably put them on this, just in case a lot of people want to ride on one side of the boat for some reason. Then you can just hit the tab. These come with it. And again, these are a nice boat, because you do get that hard top. You don't have to have the canvas. You can tow it down the damn road. It's just and basically you got a backdrop, and look at all the room you get in this. This is a 23. This one can be bought right there. They got a good deal on this one. It's a red 23. It's got the white 300 V6 4.2 gear case. So the fastbacks, they're a good boat for getting that hard top, because then if you want the backdrop, just take it off like they did right there. If you want it, just put it on. But you get a lot of deck room, good quality. They got like dual batteries, dual bilge pumps, dual wipers, and most of them have wash downs, the suspension seats, so they come with a lot of extra. But you're also, between the hard top and going to the seats and the double this, double that, yeah, you can wrap yourself up another 20,000-30,000 bucks. So that's where you come on over here, and these got all hydraulic steering, of course. Now let's go back into stainless prop versus aluminum. I would say, yes, you can put them on a 115, yes, 150, you can do that. But I don't know, that's a lot of weight to be pushing on the lower end gear cases. Now, if you go to the V6s up, no problem running the stainless. They can take it. I mean, the other ones do it, but the problem is with stainless, if you bend that, you did damage to that gear case. I guarantee you. Where like they should have a shear hub in them, but just say you got in there and you're wrapping 3500 and it log went in there, it would just bam, lock it up real quick. But maybe hopefully that hub in there will spin out. But you could take the blades off aluminum, just buy you another aluminum. You could buy 2 aluminums for one stainless. So you could have a 17 pitch for coast, and then you get up to 3500 and above in altitude, just swap on the 15 pitch. Now these are the new LEs that they came out with. Now these you can buy for 75,000. The way they are, I think they got a deal on a few of these. Now this, I think, is basically between the 20 and the 21 foot as far as the side heights. It's right, maybe the same as a 20, and I think in the width and everything, it looks like the same width as a 21, but it may be a little smaller. But this would be a hell of a good boat. I mean, for somebody that wants kind of a top end boat, but you know, it doesn't, you know, an extra 20,000-30,000 versus a Seahawk step deck, of course. This ain't a bad boat, because you got your like nitrous seats in it, you got a single wiper. So the only thing I would do here is, if I wanted a wash down, I'd have the wash down and the dual batteries with the switch done here, and maybe the crab dab if you're going electric. Other than that, I would just add those things. You're still saving yourself 15 to 20 grand for basically the same boat. So this one here, I can't believe. I mean, granted, it's got the, you know, the vinyl floor, but all these, even the 24 foot North Rivers, until the last few years, they had this flooring. Almost all the boats do. Now the, you know, the Seahawks that are loaded, now of course they're aluminum floors, that are suspension seats, dual wipers, dual bills, do all that. Because I figure if you do the wash down on this LE, this is 150 would really, you know, and I would almost think, maybe swing to the 200. It ain't that much more, but man, you would have more than enough power with that inline, same weight and everything. But again, to get the price down to 150, there you go. hydraulic steering. So down the road you save now. If you do that live well, or not live well, but worse down in the dual batteries with the switch, then you can do your own or windshield wiper. You can do add on second bilge pump if you wanted to. All that stuff's easy. It's something you can do and save yourself a lot of money. So these LEs are going to be sleepers. Like I say, what a crab, and what it, you know, going outside, do a little lingcod. I mean, you know, a nice day sneaking out, do a little tuna when they're in about 20 miles. I mean, that's a hell of a, and up the river, salmon fishing. I mean, that's a hell of a buy. You got to figure there's some of these 18s that are almost pushing 60,000 bucks, and they're not even close to the quality that North River is. Then, of course, we got Arimas. They're recoverable as well, no wood in them. These things will go through anything, because they got the flat pods back here. They have improved the ride in the planing. The older ones took a lot of horsepower to get them up, then didn't need the power. The newer ones will, the 90 on here just pops this right up. And no carpet, no nothing, it's just all fiberglass. So it's, and again, this little thing's like a little tugboat. They'll go through it. They are riding better. Start getting, you know, like the little foots, and they're short. Yeah, they may hit a little bit, but the last few of these I was pretty impressed. Now here's the Stavy craft line, and I'm going to go to part 2.